Benjamin D'Souza here, back with another vid. I didn't want to make a video tonight, even though I had some topics. I'm kind of tired or whatever, you know, on this grind, trying to get these snaps and what have you. But I was scrolling through social media, and an interesting post and interesting comment section prompted me to make this, spontaneous video. So, if you scroll through my catalog, I might have alluded to my family makeup and whatnot. And, just for all disclosure, well, not all disclosure, but, to lay a couple cards on the table. If any of my family members just so happen to stumble upon this video and listen to it, hey, don't and you recognize who's talking, don't hold this against me, but I gotta speak on this. So, it's, some of my day ones, they know my family history. I'm gonna lay it out to you right now. So my mother is from the South, and she is one of 15. Yes, that's right. One of 15. My grandmother pushed out 15 children. My father is one of 7. Yes. My other grandmother pushed out 7. Now here's the interesting dynamic, and this is really what made me go on my pseudo anthropologist quest, with the analysis of Black America in comparison to other cultures. But anyway, so my father is from the Caribbean. He's from Guyana. One people, one nation, one destiny. Big up. And if you have anything to say about the land of many, if you have anything bad to say about the land of many waters, carry a skunt. That's all I gotta say about that. But anyway, so I'm scrolling through social media website, this, that, and the third, and one of my aunties on my mother's side, she posts this meme, and she captions the meme by saying, play nice. Now the meme goes like this. Okay, what is the worst aspect about me? And then it has A, my mouth, B, my attitude, C, my facial expression, D, I forgot what, I forgot what the fourth one was, but it was something. It was something. And she prefaced the meme by saying, hey, play nice. Play nice. And what was so funny, what prompted me to do this video is, and I do want to title this video, Don't Hit Girls. Don't hit girls. That's before I go any further, that's a metaphor. I'm not, for you dense motherfuckers, when you hear that title, I'm not just talking about cocking back and, goddamn Dolomite in the bitch. It's different ways that you can hit people. You can hit below it's like the saying goes, oh, he or she hit below the belt. They ain't actually hit them, they just said something to them that really cut them deep. But it's a metaphor for a physical assault. But anyway, all right. So she prefaces this meme that she posts, my auntie, much love. Hey, Big ups to my auntie. I love you. I love you. She prefaces this meme by saying, "Hey, play nice." And what really prompted me to do this video is that her daughter, she has one daughter, and she has other children. She has, all the rest of her children are sons. She only has one daughter. Her daughter hops on there and she says, and I quote, "all of the above." Now she said this to her moms, but at the end of her comment, she puts up the LOL, like, "Oh, I'm just playing." But as soon as I read the post and read the comment that her daughter made, my cousin made, I said, man, cuz had a Freudian slip right there, because even though she put some LOLs at the end of it, that's how she really felt. You feel me? And when I, after I got my chuckles in real quick, and after I contemplated, putting up a comment myself, I took a step back and I said to myself, yeah, let me let that chill. I said, oh, so this is the programming that, many black children have been inundated with. Do not hit girls. Do not hit girls. Do you see the parallel between a physical blow and a emotional and psychological blow? That's really the point that I'm trying to drive home. Because my auntie posed a question. And my cousin answered it. But my cousin, put on some kid gloves and, told her, really had a Freudian slip and really told her mother how she felt. But she still kind of dressed it up at the end. And it's like, don't hit, it just reminds me of what was drilled in my head as a kid. Don't hit girls, don't hit girls. Regardless of what they do, regardless of what they say, you're not supposed to hit them. And that hit can either be physical, mental, psychological, or emotional. And I just did a cross comparison with with my father's culture, because my father, being from a Caribbean culture and being from a different culture, a different way of operating, a different way that checks and balances within family structures are handled, really came to mind. And I hearkened upon a couple of one of SWP's videos when he says, the Indian people are really vicious when it comes to the critiques of their own family members when they get out of pocket. Like, they show no, what he was saying, they show no mercy. When they critique you hard. And they let you know, like, if you ain't shit, you ain't shit. You feel me? And they let you know that you ain't shit. And, there's certain, similar parallels with, that he laid down and the culture that my father comes from. Because, hey, let me put out this disclaimer. If my cuz on my pop side so happen to come across this vid and recognize my voice and be like, man, that's cuz, I I would like to apologize. I didn't say your name, so hey, it is what it is. But I got a cousin on my father's side. He kinda, and he's full blooded Guyanese. Both of his parents are from Guyana, you know. But I was talking to his mother and a couple of his aunties on his mother's side, and apparently he hasn't been handling his business as a man. Let them tell it. And they were very harsh in their critiques of him. He ain't shit. He's a loser. Just outright said it. Like, and I'm like, no, don't say that. My quote unquote African American knee-jerk reaction kicked in. I'm like, no, don't say that. You gotta love them. That's blood. That's family. But they was like, no, that nigga, no, that nigga ain't shit. We tell him he ain't shit. We tell anybody else who would care to listen that he ain't shit. Even though that's cuz I fuck with cuz, I know he ain't shit. Let me rephrase that. I know that he is not an ain't shit person. You know what I mean? Because I understand this is life. Life will throw a 2-piece and a biscuit at you and shit. Hey, you better go into your Philly shell and hit life with the shoulder roll and counter punch him and roll with that shit. You feel me? Because I've been down a couple times myself, So I know how life is, especially here, smack dab in the middle of the eye of the storm. You feel me? But yeah, my father's side, they hold no punches, man. They are brutal with their critiques of certain family members. They are of the mindset, we don't give a fuck if you fam or not. If you're not carrying your weight, we gonna tell you you're not carrying your weight. And we gonna hold your feet to the fire. In contrast, on my mother's side, my quote-unquote African American side, you gotta critique said people with kid gloves. Well, not necessarily the men, because you can outright tell the men that they ain't shit. Or you can just outright tell the men in, Blackistan, what their deficiencies are and where they fall short. And no one will bat an eye when you say it. You can go to a family gathering and, every family member can lambaste you, like chestnuts over a roasted open fire. And nobody will say, hold up, don't talk about him like that. He ain't all that bad. No. But let a female family member, let her deeds be put up on that scale. Then you got to bring out the kid gloves, or you got to start, making excuses and whatnot, which really harkens back to the Don't Hit Girls program. And it kind of reminds me of this recent podcast. Well, really, this podcast that was dropped tonight. I want to say the 30th or the 31st or whatnot. But the podcast that Obsidian dropped, talking about black women in hair weaves, and I believe it's C Boogie got on there, and he's been talking about this over a couple of podcasts on Obsidian Media Network's channel. He's been talking about the how did he phrase it? Matriarchal psychosis. There it is. The psychosis of the matriarch, of the matriarchy. Matriarchal psychosis. It's these these programs that has been instilled in men. You know, the females of this matriarch, they get programmed as well, but they are under a different programming than the men. But you know, and I'm not naive. Listen, I'm not perfect. I'm not invincible. I'm not impervious. You know, I've been programmed in this matriarchal psychosis. But what I will say is that I'm cognizant enough to recognize, now I'm cognizant enough to recognize when my programming is kicking in, you know. And when I seen this post, I wanted to hop on and say, "Oh, AT, you ain't all that bad," even though AT is a pistol. She is a straight up pistol. I'm talking about Yosemite Sam, Racka fracking such and such. You know when Yosemite Sam got the cussing up a storm and he pull out them 6 shooters and get the busting at the ground and lift off the ground about 2-3 feet because that's AT right there. She trail with it. I'm telling you. You fuck around and get your motherfucking your ramen noodles put on the curb fucking with AT. But yeah, and still, I wanted to come to her defense. Even though, you know, cuz her own daughter had a Freudian slip and really gave her an honest, a harsh assessment. It was a harsh but honest assessment. But I wanted to, that's fam, you know, that's auntie, she a female. I wanted to put on that, my knee-jerk reaction was to put on that cape and just be like, nah, auntie, you good. But, you know, recognizing the symptoms of the matriarchal psychosis, the psychosis programming that I've been put under, as soon as that came to the surface, I said, that's just my programming kicking in. Let me rein these horses in. But yeah, it all harkens back to that initial programming that all black men who were boys at one time were put under. Don't hit girls. In Blackistan, you gotta deal with these females with kid gloves. For you brothers out there that, you know, might be dealing with that programming, because you have been programmed. And this is on some, you know, some high level MK Ultra shit. Your programmers were programmed. You're like a third and fourth manifestation of a code that was, you know, a programming code that was implemented in, you know, your mothers and your aunties and your grandmothers a long time ago. And, you know, me being from, both of my parents being from two different cultures, you know, I really had some reference points to do a cross comparison. And growing up, my father would point out these differences between his culture and my mother's culture. But their lives were eerily similar due to my mother came up from, you know, obscure poverty in rural South, and my father came up in, you know, poverty in a third world country. So there were similarities to their story, but the way each set handled certain things were completely different, you know. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. It's just wow, it's not a quick video. It's about 20 minutes, but yeah, don't hit girls. That's a programming. And what's funny is that the over emotional programming that a lot of black men have been programmed with, when they recognize that this don't hit girls programming is just a mind fuck, they're not equipped with the tools to emotionally, handle it. So they lash out. You know what I mean? Like it's deep. It's deep. But yeah, that's just something I noticed. But yeah, this is Benjamin D'Souza. D'Souza. Like, share, and subscribe.